What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
They're laughing at us, at our stupidity. And now they're beating us economically. They are not our friend. And these are the best and the finest. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. Look how much African American communities are suffering under Democratic control. To those I say the following. What do you have to lose by trying something new like Trump? What do you have to lose? I say it again, what do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty, your schools are no good, you have no jobs, 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose?
Good morning. This is Michael, your dreadlock connoisseur, and we at Old Car Wax with my sometimes off and on host, Sean. We got our special guest, Marsha. How y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
Howdy. So today, we normally don't go there, but it's usually about the music. It's about the music. Today we want to put a little music with the politics, and we want to start it with what is her name? I'm trying to get her out of my mind. I'm trying to get her off my tongue, but what is her name, Sean?
Chrisette Michele.
Chrisette Michele, which is flooding the internet, the Twitter, Facebook. It's flooding everywhere. Why are we talking about Chrisette Michele? Marsha, what do you think we're talking about Chrisette Michele today?
Well, she performed at the inaugural ball of Donald Trump.
Who? Wait a minute. Who? Did she say Donald Trump, Sean?
The president of the United States.
Your girl? Yeah, right. Your girl? What? She did what? Okay. So really, really interesting. Really interesting. And so she made a decision. A lot of performers was like, hey, we'd like you to perform. And I think, I'm going to paraphrase it because, it's not fair trying to know exactly what they said. But most performers said, fuck you, I'm not going there. So I'm just paraphrasing. Don't take my words literally. But they said, fuck you. One of the main ones that kind of went to the end was Jennifer Holliday. You heard about the Jennifer Holliday issue?
Yeah.
So she came through and her people was like, look, if you do that, I think we're out. I think we're done with you. And so she went out and said, look, because of my fans and the people that I care about, I won't be performing.
Right.
So.
Totally respectful. You can always respect that.
Yeah, but that's a person's opinion.
Right.
They can say, I'm going to go for my fans, or I believe in what I believe in, and I'm going to perform, or I'm not going to perform. She made a decision. I'm not going to perform because I think longevity of your career could be hurt in that way.
Right.
So I understand her. But Chrisette Michele was like, I want to unite America. So she wanted to unite America and said, if we don't stand up and speak out, then how are we going to do anything? So, Sean, you read through an interview. I kind of read some things with you, and then you just saw her from a small interview with the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, she was actually on the Breakfast Club Monday morning, and they actually posted the video today, which is Wednesday?
Yeah, 2 days after. Yep.
So Just earlier, I know if y'all listen, man, I listened to her previous album. It's called Milestone. It was a really good album, well put together, really good artist, as she so speaks of herself.
Yeah. And what she wears. Yeah.
Yeah. So, when I heard her make this decision about going to the inauguration, I was kind of confused, a little baffled, but, I wanted to kind of let it play out. Let's see what she had to say about it. What was the reason? So when I seen this interview, I was like, oh, good. That's great. Supposed to be talking about her anyways.
Mm-hmm,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this interview, it kind of, Charlamagne, man. Charlamagne's a great communicator, man. He definitely knows how to talk to people, man, and get the things out. He might rub you the wrong way, but he's still going to try to get out what he needs to get out.
Right.
Chrisette Michele was just kind of jumping around, speaking like she was doing it for a bigger reason other than
making that money.
Basically.
Right. Any of y'all know how much money she was supposed to make off of that?
Well, I read an article that she supposedly made like $250,000. But I also read another article where, nobody wanted to really perform for the new president or whatever. So he was offering $1 million.
Ooh.
So
I heard it was only 60,000. And then I heard the $250,000. Mm-hmm. So I heard both of those. Mm-hmm. And when I heard about the $250,000, they was like, so fuck Spike Lee's movie, because he ain't paying you that kind of money. Because Spike Lee said, yo, if you're going to do that and disrespect the black community, I don't need you on my show on, I think it's on Netflix or HBO. But he's doing a new show. And he was like, yo, if you're going to do that, I'm done with you.
Right.
And then he was like, look, the amount of money you making, you shouldn't even care. So that's what kind of disturbed me, because was it really a money thing? Was it about the message she wanted to send? Or was she standing up for something? Which was interesting. So, Marsha, when you interpreted that, because you did hear the interview, right? Yeah. So, what did you, perception-wise, this is just an opinionated thing. This is not, let's get into her mind. And
right.
Off the jump. What did you get from it?
Honestly, we were both talking about her, since she did the performance or whatever.
Right.
And all the backlash or whatever. We were talking about how, she might be insecure as, how she was, reacting to everything. And how her circle was reacting.
Right.
Listening to that, to the interview, man, I told Sean, I was like, I feel like she full of shit.
Wow.
Because if you listen to the interview, she doesn't really answer any of the questions they ask.
Right.
She dances around them until they actually have to kind of make her like, hey, you didn't answer the question.
Yeah, get on track. Get back on track. Right.
She goes back out to left field. So I just feel like she was full of shit. I mean, if you did it for the money, you did it for the money.
Right.
Stand by your decision.
So what I got, even the snippets, I kind of heard what she was trying to say, because on one sense, she turned around and said, who am I? I'm not a spokesman for the black people. I'm not the intelligent, spokesperson. And then she said, well, I was there so I can bring people together so I can speak out. And who are we? Wait a minute, but you just said you wasn't,
right.
But yet you said that's what you came for. Right. But then when you said, how come you didn't? Be like, wait a minute, I'm not there to do that. So she went back and forth, depends on what the question was. Mm-hmm. And even when you kept giving me, sections of that, Sean, I was listening. I was like, wait a minute, she jumped right back off of it again. But yet, when it came up to the other question on why Congress wasn't there, it was like, look, well, I showed up. So I was the voice. But she still didn't say a goddamn thing. So I'm like, wait a minute.
She didn't even talk to Trump. She didn't even shake his hand. She didn't even see the man.
But she said it didn't matter.
Right.
But yet she said, we need to talk to him to get him to understand. Wait a minute. You had that opportunity, and he basically said, fuck you. I just needed somebody to perform, to make me look good. Mm-hmm. And she was used. And she doesn't want to admit to that. Right. She wanted to admit, just like you said, if it's about the money, just say, hey, look, this was a good payday. Mm-hmm. I wanted to talk to his ass, but he didn't show up. So what can I say? Right. I couldn't do what I wanted to do, but I got paid. I think people would be like, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. But I get you, though.
Right. Mm-hmm. You can't do anything but respect that because she's being real.
Yeah.
You know?
But so the bigger thing is, you know, we had a lot of singers who said, no way am I showing up. You had a person who, the president, because you have to say who he is. You may not respect what he is or who he is, but he is the president. Right. So I'm going to call him president. I don't like to. I still call him Trump like I did Bush. But he's the president, and I don't like how he is and how he's debating that women are being disrespected, how he does that. I mean, the worst thing is that if you look at the internet, you see how he treats his wife.
Right.
I mean, and these are constant pictures or different scenarios on the same day. Mm-hmm. This is on the front pages of everywhere. Right. He gets out of the car, walks up the stairs. His wife comes around. He's like, fuck her. I'm going up the stairs. Right. He's talking to her and she turns around and he's kind of like almost probably telling her something on his breath. And she looks like, damn, I hate this dude. And there's just things that he does. And you like, yo, if he doesn't respect his own wife, how is he going to respect anything you say? Right. Anything.
Yeah. And another thing that was trending on the internet was their dance. And everyone was talking about how awkward they looked.
Yeah.
How she was trying to pull away and he kept pulling her back.
Like, come on. The camera's looking at us. Right. Stop doing that.
You better smile.
We don't touch. I thought you said we don't touch. I thought you said we don't touch. You know, so it's kind of like, what's crazy? So change that back to what we normally talk about. And you see a lot of, so what other stars have you heard contributing? You know, we know Kanye showed up, you know, because Kanye's crazy. But Kanye showed up and he said, we're just talking about whatever with his blonde hair. And it was just weird because certain people did show up. Right. And anybody that he could have show up for him, he highlighted them with the press because he wanted to show, look, I am talking to black people.
Exactly.
He didn't do it because it was a reason.
Yeah, that was the whole objective, to get as many black artists that he can take pictures with to show young voters, young people, old people that he likes black people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Kanye can't say on live TV, Donald Trump don't like black people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got you before you get to say anything about me. Right. You know.
When he showed up, he didn't say that.
Nope.
So somebody's making him say
right,
that. So Trump already got past that, to your point. The dude is egotistical and kind of psychotic, I believe. You know, I'm not the only one who's saying that. But he believes what he believes, even if it's not true. If he believes it, it makes it true.
But that's how his whole gang is.
Well, they supporting his vision. Because he's the president.
That's his gang, man. That's his. I mean, that's his gang, man. It's a whole organization that they're running here. It's a whole system that they have. You know, so you know when you look at the people who represent his presidency on TV, you know, they don't know a lick, but they sticking to the script of Donald Trump's the president.
Because it's about power. So what most people don't get is, why would a billionaire become a politician? Because they want power. People's like, I don't understand why Bloomberg became the mayor of New York. Because he wanted power.
Right.
So if you're the mayor of New York, you can dictate what other billionaires do. Mm-hmm. When you're just a billionaire against another billionaire, that's just money against money.
Right.
But when you're a politician, it's politics against money. Because when you say, I'm not going to allow you to build that building, That's the power to say, I don't care how much money you have, I'm denying you because I have the power.
Right.
So if he's putting these people in place, their ideologies and their money means nothing now. Now is their ideas of who they are that's going to affect things.
Mm-hmm.
And, I read an article that he's not going to fund PBS and the arts. And he's going to start taking that money away.
Wow.
Because, the government pays a lot of these PBS and public stations just for the arts, plays and music.
Right.
And,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the Republicans always wanted to take that away because they said it's just a waste of money.
Mm-hmm.
Because in their mind, let's just make money. But everyone else said in order to stay talented, you need that to motivate you in that.
Right. You have to have art to have creative people out here, man. PBS is literally one of my favorite channels, man. Not just because it doesn't have commercials, but it actually, gives you some perspective of creativity.
Right.
So to take that away from a young mind is disrespectful, man. It's like, what are you trying to do to our future? It's already bad. You know what I'm saying? But you taking away free TV now. It's like, come on, man. You could take money away from a whole lot more different places with this, but
that's not the intent. The billionaires and back to the little group that you said, they can pay for that. So when it comes to arts, they can pay somebody for that.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't want their money going to pay for the inner cities of, College Park down there or Harlem or in the Chicago. They don't want that money going there. Mm-hmm. They want to have it available when they need it and if you can pay for it. That's what they want it for. So if you see what he put in place on everything, it's about how do I take away so these poor people, I'm not spending my money to help them. Right. How am I spending money to help us? And that's everybody in place.
Right.
But let's go back to the music thing though. So if we look at her, how many other artists in this day and time have that actual mentality, but was afraid to do it because of the backlash?
Oh, many. Over 80% of artists right now, over 80% of musicians right now would have did it, but know the backlash of what their fans are going to give them and what their family's going to give them.
Yep.
I was talking to friends of mine and I asked them if they would take $4 million. They said, heck yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then I asked them if they would take $250,000 and they was like, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
So it's a thought. Maybe.
Right.
But, I don't know.
But it's like, and I told them I wouldn't, and then they're like, you're crazy because that money could change your life. And it's like, yeah, you can get that $4 million, but you can't go back to the hood. And then he's like, well, you can't tell me I can't go back to the hood. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you can go back.
Go ahead, try
but they're not going to serve your food. They're not going to serve you. They're not going to bag your stuff up.
And, they probably won't buy your whatever you've done.
Right.
They won't do anything for you.
Yeah.
With you, around you.
Support
you know what I'm saying? You will get no support. Oh, I'm fine with that. I'll just take my $4 million and go somewhere else. And then you're going to be by your damn self.
And then you're alone.
So you're happy with your $4 million and your family by yourself then?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. Well, the problem is you don't know what it feels like until it happens. Mm-hmm. So all they doing is looking at money. So Marsh, if you was looking at the money aspect, and I think we kind of alluded to it earlier, if she was honest about it, how would you take that? Would you actually defend her or just say, I'll just leave it at that?
I would just leave it at that. I would respect her decision more because she's being honest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She's being real about it. Like, hey, I made $1, So that's what
You can't do no more than that.
Right.
and that kills me because, and in some sense, some people do say, if you want to get paid, you get paid. Mm-hmm. The way you get paid, like Tyler Perry gets paid to put on a skirt. Mm-hmm. I don't like that, but I respect him because he's still trying to do some positive things.
Right.
I don't like it. Again, I don't like it. but, do what you got to do. And then when he said, well, you need to support me. No, I don't. I just need to respect you because I know you doing it because just like what I was telling people about Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington did a whole bunch of lousy films, worthless films, so he can do Fences. He didn't do them because he's not that great of an actor anymore. He's at the bottom of the barrel. He's doing trashy movies. He's doing that to get the clout and the money so he can do exactly what he wanted.
Right. Yeah, didn't he help do John Q?
I don't know. I don't know if it was John Q. He did, I think, 2 other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if he directed that one.
Right.
He did the one with the naval soldier, Antoine Fisher.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one.
And then the one with the what was it? The debating club, the great debaters.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and that was good. So all of those was good, but when you see Fences, you see since he did it on Broadway, it was just just smooth. You see it. It was just amazing.
Okay.
And the dialogue of that was just totally amazing and everything. But people like him and people that leads will never speak to things like this because they said, it's a waste of my time. Don't even ask me. No, I'm not.
Right. Well, I think Chrisette doesn't get a lot of support from the Black community.
When? Now or before?
Before. I think if you're going for anything $1 million under and the name Donald Trump is in the sentence, I think you kind of are going for that check. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just don't feel like she had enough power. I don't feel like she was a big enough artist to have the right people call her and tell her not to do that.
But if her, what was it, a publisher or a manager told her, what? If he told her, that's a problem. But I'm going to go back to your point. I think she was known in the Black community. Is she one of the top female singers or performers? No, but she's known. They could have spun that whole situation, because this is just me. They could have spun that whole situation, and she could have came out and said, they asked me to do this, and I'm not doing it. When I say Black girl magic, Black girl has the magic to say yes, no. She could have spun it, and then people would have looked at her and said, damn, he asked her. Let me see what kind of music she has. Just by coming out front with that, I think she would have had a lot more clout and probably put herself in a position that people would be listening to her.
Right.
But she did it to get money, and hopefully those people that showed up, they'll buy her
right,
music.
the people that saw her.
Those white racists, well, not all of them, sorry. Those people who support Trump, the likelihood that they would listen to her is very small. It's very small. So she made a wrong move. So her manager and publicist or whoever is telling her, you need to go around and do these interviews to explain, and she got thrown off. Except for, to your point, Marsha, being honest. She don't even have to say it was about the money. She could have turned around and said, it was a bad mistake. You know what? After the whole thing went down, I made a bad choice. Because he didn't even respect me enough to show up and thank me or whatever like that. And then Black people would be like, yeah, but I told you he wasn't. Yeah, I didn't know that, but I thought I would be able to. She can lie and say I had a whole speech written out and I was going to tell him about. She could have lied. She would have. But the fact that he didn't, she could say anything. She could have spent it exactly to say, I made a bad choice, but I was prepared to do this. I wanted to say something, but they didn't allow me to. She could have said anything. And, 60% of Black people are naive and hear anything. Right. I just saw Tupac around the corner. God damn, let's go back over there.
Right.
Except for saying, man, are you stupid?
Right.
That dude's dead. They were like, let's go back over. You sure he was over there? Yeah, let's go see. He must have left. Damn. That's how naive some Black people are. So if she would have said that, people still would have listened to her music because she flipped it or spinned it in a way that people said, wow, okay, she really was going to try to do something. She really was. She can lie. Listening to that, and if she turn around and do it again, you know she's lying. But she already established that she's a liar from there, or she's full of shit, or whatever thing you want to call it. That was just terrible. It was terrible. And in her mind, I think she thought she was convincing them that, no, you'll get what I'm saying. I'm going to make y'all understand. No, you can't. You can't.
I didn't understand.
Yeah, that was definitely a confusing interview right there, man. I definitely see her in a different light after that interview and speaking on, or attempting to speak on, why she went up there, you know. And I think her whole thing was, you know, I gotta meet more people. I need people to see us. People need to see us in this Trump during these next 4 years.
Right.
You know, and, you know, when she said that, it's like, they're going to see us anyways. You know, we run the show.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You know, don't nothing move without us. You know what I'm saying? And then the funny part about it is, the following day was a woman's march.
Yeah.
And you didn't even go.
Right.
Why didn't you go? And this is what she said. Oh, they don't call D-list artists. There were people calling, saying that they were going to come, saying they were going to perform.
It wasn't about people calling you to come. It was about you supporting the cause. Right. So again, she had a selfish approach. If you listening the way she talks, what was that? She said she wore a certain kind of skirt just to represent.
Yeah, a Basquiat skirt.
And she talked about that skirt through the whole interview.
Like, this is what I did to.
So I wore a Basquiat skirt. I wore a Basquiat. We got that. You know, let that part go at least. Right. What kind of blouse you had on? You know. I mean, did you wear stockings? What the hell?
Right.
You know. I mean, so it's sad when you hear entertainers. When you have a perception, because I know that was one of them. Besides Beyonce's sister, what's her name? Solange
and Alicia Keys.
Yeah, so they are great artists. Solange made a turn into saying, "I'm doing something differently," and it paid off. Her name was coming up in those circles. It was.
This was like the worst time to do that.
Exactly.
You know, like.
But she thought she could take advantage of it while getting paid. Right. Did you listen to any of her music, Marsha?
Who?
Chrisette.
Yeah. I've listened to all of her albums. I like her music. I think she makes good music.
Right.
But I had also been hearing about her as well, like on a personal level. Like, people who have had contact with, you know, have met her or whatever, they've all said that she has the nastiest attitude.
Wow.
We kind of saw that, right? We kind of saw it.
They said that she has a nasty attitude. And that's always been in the back of my mind. Like, even when I listen to her music, it's still in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay, you know, if I ever met her, you know, would she be this down-to-earth person that I hear in her music, or would she be this self-centered bitch?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but that's what I have been hearing, that she's not a very nice person.
So, I mean, let's put her, I mean, even though she's not as known as Kanye, Kanye is ridiculous. He is a ridiculous dude, but I love his music. So I'm going to listen to his music, but if I've known if I ever seen him, I know what to expect from him.
Right.
So I'm kind of like, this dude is crazy. You know what I mean? This dude is crazy. So I really can't do anything in that matter. But
you expect that from Kanye.
But Chrisette Michele, you're not even anybody that I really would want to kind of deal with.
Right, like you had a chance, like that, and I want to go to that point real quick before we get off of that. You know, she was actually coming up, and she was building a name for herself in the community that was going to really bring her to the light of of being on better shows that she wanted to be on, having better features, just being more out there like she wanted to be. She's a very insecure person. It's something that's not telling her, or somebody that's not telling her that she was loved from a child. You know what I'm saying? She spoke a lot about her mother being her manager, and then from her mother being her manager, her college boyfriend, which is her husband now, being her manager.
So she went from her mother, I don't know her mother's background, being a manager.
Actually, it was her fiance being her manager. When they broke up, he was her manager for 10 years.
Bam.
They broke up, they sued each other, all this and that. And then when he left the scene, then her parents came.
Oh my God.
Her mama.
Yeah, her mom.
She never said anything about her daddy during the whole interview. Okay. She spoke highly of her mama. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm not sure what it is, but
there's some issues.
She has some very insecure issues going on, and it's like during the interview, you can tell she was missing some love somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That she's missing as confidence, because she's a very beautiful woman, but she stopped wearing her natural hair. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm assuming she's trying to sell or, make more. Just get more fans, get more acceptance. You know what I'm saying? She was rocking that for like a good 2-3 years. And then after that, now she just rocked the weaves. You know what I'm saying? So, I personally take a lot of that into consideration on how she presented herself on the interview. Because it was just like you said, man, she could have stand on her own. She could have been like, man, that man didn't even come. Man, I did my song. I looked real nice. I expected to at least take a picture with the man.
Yeah.
I couldn't even take a picture with the man.
Just acknowledge me.
Yeah.
Be at the end of the stage saying thank you. And wait
it would have been
kept
like,
going.
dang, so how you feel about that? I'm a little fucked up about it, but, that's why I'm here to tell y'all. Donald Trump ain't this or Donald Trump ain't that.
Well, he's not what I thought he was.
And then
you don't even have to say anything negative. I just don't think what I thought he would be, he wasn't.
But for her to speak so highly on the inauguration and Trump and how she was really trying to make change, and then literally the day after it was a women's march,
and you said I wasn't invited. You didn't have to be invited.
Right.
All you had to do was look at one thing on social media and say, "Is that going on in my city?"
Yeah,
and win.
Right.
Or not even my city. What city am I in? Whatever city I'm in. Hey, can I show up? Who's leading this? Yeah, I don't need to speak, but can I be on stage at least to say I'm part of this? I'm one of you. Right. I got to do my thing. Right. She didn't do that. So I think it's back to your point, her insecurity and the lack of direction that someone has given them. I mean, that's why me being the manager that I am, I'll always say, how do I structure a person to say, this is the best way you can present yourself. Right. If you don't present yourself in this way, you're going to fail. Or people are going to perceive you differently, which can make you fail or can be a benefit. One thing that may happen for her, possibly, all this negative will get her a following too. Right. It still can happen. That's what happens in our society.
Right. Yeah. I personally feel like the main source of this whole thing is the person that's standing by her, like you said, to your point, the guidance, the direction that's being given to her. If her manager or her publisher is telling her not to do it, and she's like, "Oh, I'm still going to do it," and she goes back home and she talks to her man, and she tells her man that she's going to do it, and she tells her man that her publisher tells her that she shouldn't do it, and her man is like, "Well, do what you feel is right."
Yeah.
But me per se, let's just say me.
Right.
If my wife came home and she was a performer and she says, "I got an acceptance to go to inauguration," and we broke, they said, we're going to negotiate something. You know, how much they gonna give us? Well, we're gonna negotiate it in about another couple hours. Man, no. I don't care. I don't care how much money it is. I'm not dealing with that, man. I'm not dealing with that, man.
But you broke though.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'm personally fine with that.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? People who have that mentality are better people to me. Honestly, they're better people to me because they got principles that they're trying to hold on to. That don't mean every principle you have, you're going to always be able to hit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you try as many as possible to hold on to those principles, I absolutely respect that. So Sean came home and said, hey, I got this new rap deal. They about to give me about 150,000 or potential another 100.
But they want me to dress in the clown suit.
But I gotta wear some gold fronts and shit, and wear these big old glasses, and my pants hanging off, and I got colorful drawers on. But it's only for a little while. What would you say? He said, but we need this money right now.
We'll find another way. We will grind it out.
Because to me, that's bigger. That's bigger than you. And that's what she didn't realize.
Right.
It was bigger than her.
Right.
And she could have spent it, back to the management. She could have spent it and got in front of everyone and said, this man tried to get me to come. He said he wasn't going to be there and blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing this because as I'm going to the women's march, as soon as she says that, somebody going to call out and say, hey, could you come? You could have spent everything in that manner.
Right.
But I think she's like, I need the attention. I need to be relevant. I need a lot of these things.
She just had to be a little bit more patient. If she could have just waited 2 more months, she would have been good. She would have been able to drop something.
And that opportunity would have been there in 2 months because he's not having any balls or whatever. After now, he probably won't have no other black person show up to anything that he does.
They have all served their purposes.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's pretty much done. But she could have spent it in a way to say, I want to support America, but this is not the way to just have people show up just to be a face, a black face.
Right.
I don't want to be that black face. You could have made it like you was the only black person invited. That's the management, though. That is not even her. That's the management saying, publicist saying, this is how we're going to spend this. Let's make this our advantage. I want you to stand up, kick cats, do whatever you need to do, and tell people, I'm not doing this.
Well, maybe that's not the management. Maybe management told her that.
Then why are you the manager then? So is the manager there to get paid?
This came out her mouth. This came out of Chrisette's mouth.
Right.
A manager told me that I got invited to inauguration. I told him I was going to be there. And he said, oh, hell nah.
Yeah.
So that means, why do you have management if...
That's not her point. She needs management. Because
she needs it to get in it.
She needs management regardless.
Right, gotcha.
A strong manager says, if you ain't listening to me, do this shit on your own. Do it on your own. Well, you don't want this money? Not like this, though. So back to your principles. Back to the ethics. You really want to allow your performer to show up there, be disrespected, and now possibly losing followers. That's a chance that you as a manager is allowing the artist to do. So you know she's done some things in the past before that he had to let go. Because if she said no to him on this, she told him no before, things that he probably said, don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that.
Right.
You're not a good manager then. Or if you want to be a manager, well, you don't really care. You want to ride the fame. You will ride the fame.
So do you feel like that's going to hurt management? Because she spoke. Nope. She gave the name of the management team.
That dude, they're going to be like, good job. I'm showing us like a handshake. But good job. Because people are going to look at them and say, man, I don't know why she didn't listen to y'all. And they can say, look, that's the artist. You can't really go up against that. But I strongly went against that. Most of my artists, I try to tell them they can spin it in their favor.
Right.
They can.
And stay being her manager. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
They can still do that. But to me, again, if you stay in a manager of an artist that's just crazy like that, then if she's continuously doing that, or every now and then, and you're trying to get her to stop doing that. So we don't know that relationship.
Right.
You know, we don't know that. But this is, it's crazy to me. What are you going to say? I'm sorry.
She just committed a career suicide, basically. Because she's only known within the black community. Most people in the black community know Chrisette Michele. Like, we know the neo-soul, you know, soul R&B artists. So those of us who, you know, listen to that, that, which is me. But,
so you're a follower.
Right.
Yeah.
And so with this happening, you know, especially at a time in this nation where everyone has shown their true colors.
Yep.
You know, and you pick that side. You just committed suicide. Like, now anything she drops, nobody's going to want to pick it up, because every time they see her name, they're going to think back to this. You know?
Yep.
So
they be like, wait a minute. That's the chick that went to, that sung for Trump, didn't she? Yeah. She sat on his lap, didn't he? Yeah. She sat on his lap. You know how people exaggerate. Yeah, she sat there and gave him a kiss and they went off the stage. You're like, yo, where the hell y'all get that from? Yeah. Yo, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. You know. So she's gonna be demonized for that. Where everybody else were country singers or unknowns.
Right.
That's the issue. She was the one from the black community that showed some representation that they had no need to do that.
Wasn't necessary.
You didn't have to do that.
Wasn't even necessary.
Other than getting paid.
That's it. That had to be the only avenue that you could. And then the next day it was a woman's march.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like,
I know.
bruh. Like, really?
Yeah.
After, I'm sure you got calls after you spoke that you was going to do the inauguration about people saying, look, we're going to have a women's march.
Regardless.
The following day.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just come and not do this inauguration. You know, like, okay, even if you didn't get that call, let's just say that. I'm sure you got more than enough calls asking, why are you doing this?
Yep.
Do you really want to do this? Is this really what you want to do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not calling you to ask you to, you know, they're calling you to verify that you're in this mindset that you're in. Like, are you sure this is what you want to do?
Did you go temporarily insane and didn't realize?
I don't want to tell you not to do this if this is really what you want to do. So instead of telling you not to do this.
But tomorrow is a women's march.
And that turnout was way bigger than the inauguration.
Exactly.
And that would have catapulted her.
Right.
Her name recognition would have been there. Yeah.
And she would have crossed over.
Yeah,
basically.
pretty much.
Her fan base would be more diverse. And just
she had a great opportunity. Again, I mean, we're just saying in one sense because of the negative. But, you know, again, I'm going to keep saying this. Sometimes negative press catapults you into a different direction. I just don't think so. You know, because I don't think her talent won't push her through this. Because she's not a great talent. She's a talent.
She's a great singer. She's not
a great singer. She's a very good singer. But she's not
a good performer.
So she's not gonna she can't jump past this.
Right.
If Beyonce would have went there, people would have got mad, but in about a month, she would have been fine. Yeah. Because of her talent and who she is, went past it. She's not that type of artist to get past it that quickly. And if she doesn't come up with something that blows somebody away, she's done. To me, her manager, this would be me, I would have to have her sing with somebody in order to get her back on track. She can't come out with anything on her own. She has to be part of some known artist that they'd be like, oh, who's doing that? What you call it with her? Who's singing with? Oh, that's Chrisette. Man, that crazy Trump bitch. Yup. Man, it sound cool. Then once again, and then once again, and then once again.
All right.
Then she can get past it. But she needs other support. But I don't even know if other artists would be like, nah, you're gonna bring me down.
Right. I mean, her and Kanye could do something.
Yeah, I know, right?
Might be good. That might be real nice, man. You know?
I know, right?
That make a nice little soundtrack for Trump, man.
Yeah. So, yeah. But I wanted to talk to you about this because it kind of blew my mind that someone would stick to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And really, and when you start hearing, my family's disowning me, and I was like, they probably pissed. They probably told you, don't do this.
Right.
Every single one of them probably said, don't do this.
I think everybody in her circle told her not to do it.
But she was like, look, I want to get paid, and this is a chance for me to get more followers. And no, but what you lost and what you gained.
Yeah, you losing more than you gaining.
Exactly. So why would you do that?
Right.
And then what you gain may even be temporary.
It is. You messing with Trump.
Yeah, it's temporary. Because sooner or later, those people who they thought believed Trump was going to do what they want, he's going to not do it or make life worse for them, then they're going to turn.
Right.
You know, so this is just a temporary thing, which makes it really, really bad. Really bad. But, yeah. So thanks, folks. I just thought this would be a great conversation, and it was. But you know, in the end, artists really either control their destiny or they fail to control it. And when you fail to control it, a lot of times is you're not taking great advice. And let me interject real quick. The guy who did Birth of a Nation, I forget his name off the bat, but
Nate Parker.
So when they told him, dude, when you start showing up to these interviews, you need to apologize. You need to tell them, even though you wasn't convicted, you need to apologize. Your film's about to come out. People are going to protest this. But if you show some kind of humility or some respect for the dead, because the girl is dead, you show something in that matter, you'll be okay. He said, I ain't doing that shit. I wasn't convicted. So they saw his arrogance. They saw all of that. And now his film flopped. He's not even in the talk for Oscars or anything.
No nominees, no
Nothing.
nominations.
Nothing. But yet, coming out of the Sundance, you know, Fox gave him millions of dollars for his movie.
History.
Yeah.
History getting that money.
But so you trying to tell me that film wasn't good when everybody acknowledged that? He ruined it for them. So now we don't even know what he's doing next because his name and what he's done is going to follow that. Yeah. So she's in the same position now. Same position. He's a rapist. She's just a damn fool. You know? Pity the fool. You know? I'm sorry. So that was the example that I thought of and was like, oh, man, are you kidding me? But and I know y'all was followers of her too, so I was real excited to hear what y'all had to say. And
yeah, man. Hey, it's disappointing. The Breakfast Club interview really just disappointed me. It was like, okay, maybe you should just shut up. Just let this ride out. Just ride out.
Go hide somewhere, right?
Ride out.
Yeah, go hide.
Take this money and just wait a year and a half and just drop another album.
I'm telling you, it's not even a year and a half.
About her. Oh, where's she been? She's been hiding because she performed for Trump.
Yep.
Oh, okay, I can respect that. Okay, well, let me hear this out.
Yeah.
But you coming out here and you're doing interviews and you're trying to explain yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, the new generation people, just because you got a camera on your phone, don't mean you got to explain everything. Shut up.
Be quiet.
Shut up. You get caught if you fall down the stairs. Man, look, Meek Mills fell down the stairs coming from his mama house in the snow. Fell down the stairs, fell on the bushes, like in the bushes. He laughed at it, but you ain't hear from this new for about 2-3 weeks. You ain't hear from him since then.
Right.
Don't come out for about 2 more weeks. Then come out, drop a track. All right, I forgot all about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
And that's just falling down the stairs.
Right.
That's not even doing anything crazy.
But don't have her interview immediately after you fall down the stairs.
And be like, yeah, I'm coming out with this cut. Yo, man, how did those stairs feel when you fell? Look, man, I don't want to talk about that. You know, there was ice and I'm suing my mother.
Ooh, right. Wait for a couple of actions to happen before you go out and have interviews or start to explain things, man. Let people forget about it. Let other things come in so they can remember and be like, oh, you know, I wasn't supposed to be messing with you, but this is a nice track.
Yeah.
Now I'm really not messing with you because you tried to explain yourself on the interview and it was terrible.
And it was worse.
So now it's like, oh, you should just shut up.
Yeah, man, she should. Man, the way she is, I don't even want to deal with her. So that's how people doing it. I can tell you the prime person who did really well at doing that.
Oh.
R. Kelly.
Oh, he's great. Man, he'll commit murder and sit on it for about 2-3 years.
And then he
drop
out
a classic album.
I'm dabbing. Oh, they said, oh, did you hear his new one? And they was like, yo, he just killed
Everybody
people 3 years ago.
3
years ago, he killed
Trust
somebody.
me.
I know, but did you hear that? I was in the club and he was like, I'm dabbing.
Man, R. Kelly is awesome at that. R. Kelly will creep up on you with some classic hits.
Yep.
Right after touching your kids. Like, man, these songs are just so great.
Or pissing on your grandma.
Man, look.
You know, just...
But he waited 2 years, though.
He did.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
he didn't do it right
like,
after.
look, I'm just going to court. I really want to get my life together. Hey, do you got anything to say?
No.
I'm in court. I'm trying to get my life together.
Right.
I'm in court. I'm trying to get my life together. Hey, check out my new track. Oh, bring it out. We'll play it today. They were like, yo, that's the dude that was in court.
You know, he's still in court now. 2 years.
About what? Then they're like, oh, man.
Hold on, let me look it up. I don't even know anymore, but I know he's still in court, though. Did you hear the song?
Yeah, I did, but
hold on. What was I just talking about? This nigga's song. This nigga's song is ripping.
All right, put it on. You're done.
Yeah, you're right. R. Kelly is a perfectionist.
Yep, he did it.
Great. He is great.
So, anyway, thanks a lot, y'all. This Old Car Wax. Thanks to Sean and Marsha. Really great interview or discussion on that. We'll be back with probably a couple of other ones. We were supposed to do Miho, the Migos.
Yeah, Migos CD come out on Friday. Culture. Definitely got to check that out.
So we probably going to come back on that. I just like handsome and wealthy. But that's just me.
Yeah. That's that hit right there. That's that hit right there.
But thanks, everyone. See you next time on Old. Hey, y'all.